And
So perfect.
huh?
A little bit to your left.
Is it on? No, one is off. Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about today's video because you asked for it and I deliver. So let me show you my trading dungeon today. Okay guys, let me first start by telling you the story how I came up with this place here in my home in Dubai. So as you know, our online trading campus, our office is actually based in the Opus by Omnia, a very iconic building in Dubai, downtown, right next to the Burj Khalifa. So I moved my trading office back home because right now we are, as online trading campus, we are literally outgrowing our office. So we are in the hiring process. We are hiring a lot of new staff, a lot of people, more team members, and our office is still relatively small compared to the numbers of people that we just hired. So actually right now we're in the process of getting a new office, actually in the same building, just a few floors lower. And that's going to be a very big floor where all of us have space. But until then, I'm going to shoot most of my content here at home in my YouTube studio, in my trading dungeon basically. Alright, so let me start the tour by showing you the engine of the office, my desktop PC. So I bought this desktop PC roughly 4 years ago. It cost a fortune, roughly $4,000 to $5,000 when we moved to our first office as online trading campus. So in a nutshell, it comes with an i9 10-core processor, 32 gig of RAM and a GTX 2080 Ti. And what I like the most about this desktop PC is the case. The case is an all acrylic case, and if you come closely and look inside, you might also see a UFO flying around. You know, you have to. So what I'm actually the most proud of is my cable management. You can imagine it took me days to manage all these cables here in this office. So everything is nice and clean. Everything is done with cable sleeves. You don't see any cables lying around in this office. All right, next here we have my mixer. Obviously the mixer I don't need for trading, but it's for my YouTube videos. So it's the Rodecaster Pro 2 by Rode. Now, I'm not an expert by any means, but what I like about it is it's so easy to use. I can just press the record button, it records my microphone, and I like the flashy lights. Next stop, let's look at my wall lights here in the office. So these are nano leaf lines. So this is not, by the way, this is not a sponsored ad. I don't get money for it. I just like these lights a lot. So I have an app here on my mobile. I can switch them off. I can switch them on. I can change the colors. Let me just show you how it looks like if I switch them off. Is it on? No, one is off. Wait, so let me just change here. It's called Mystic Nights. Let me click on it and set the scene. It should change by now. Is it changing? Ah, look, it's changing. And now I can use the other light. Also same app. I use again Mystic Night and it should change as well. And all of a sudden we have a completely different mood in the office. So that's really, really nice. Yeah, so the shape, about the shape. So I actually wanted to make a C, but I couldn't figure out how to make a C, so it ended up like a diamond, but diamond I think is also fine and very much trading related. Let's now move to the most exciting part of the office, and that's what I call the control center. It's also the most common question that I get asked on YouTube. It's not trading related, by the way. It's more like, hey, what is that behind your back? These two monitors. Actually, some people think there are 6 or 7 monitors. These are actually only 2 monitors. These are Samsung Odyssey Arc 55-inch, and they run on 165 Hertz refresh rate. And that's why they're so expensive. I think one of them was like $3,000. The funny part is that they are so heavy, I couldn't mount them myself. It required 2 people to put them on that desk. I think they're between 50 to 70 kilos each. Let me stress, no trader in the world needs these two screens. I'm barely using them properly the way I could potentially use them, but I like tech and it's a nice accessory in my office. I can afford it, and that's why I decided to buy them, and it just looks so cool in my YouTube videos. So how do I actually use them? You see basically 6 charts here on that screen. This is what I would call my watch list. These markets that I'm looking at throughout the weeks, where I expect a big move to the upside or to the downside, where I have, these are trading view charts, where I can just place an alert line and I get alerted if the setup that I'm planning to take is coming into fruition. And you see a lot of nice demand and supply zones there. These are basically my zones that I potentially want to buy or sell. So let me talk a little bit about the ergonomics of the screen, because they almost go all the way to the ceiling. So the charts you see on the top I barely use, because actually it's quite difficult to look all the way up all the time. If you can do this maybe for like 30 seconds, but then you get a stiff neck. So the charts on the top I would always use as more like charts that you barely use. The best viewing angle you have when you put the charts on the bottom. This is still huge. It's like almost, actually in fact, these 55-inch screens are like 3 27-inch put on top of each other. And by the way guys, have you seen my carpets? $100 bills, 2 of them, and don't make fun of my funny socks. Yes. All right, now let me talk you a little bit through my trading process. And you see here, this is my laptop, and you might remember it from the day in a life in Koh Samui. So that's my travel laptop, my XPS. By the way guys, I always tell you, don't invest in depreciating assets as well. All that tech here is crazily depreciative, but you know, when it comes to that laptop, my last laptop I literally bought 10 years ago. Now this is almost brand new. I want this to last. It's fully spec'd, 17-inch XPS. I want it to last for the next 5 to 10 years as well. So that's why I always decide to buy like the fully spec and then have it for at least 5 years. Everything you see in here can last up to 10 years. My philosophy is always, when it comes to tech, buy fully loaded, fully equipped, and then I can use it for the next 5 to 10 years and I don't have to worry about it all. Yes, they are depreciating assets, but I can use them almost for forever. And by the way, have you guys noticed that printout? I'm pretty proud about that accomplishment, so that's why I put it here. It's the only thing that is actually on my desk here. It's pretty clean, as I told you, cable management, etc. I love it clean, but this really belongs here next to me. So this here is my main setup where I work on a daily basis. And let me again, this is also a question I get asked very often about my daily routine, about my weekly routine. I would call it more like a weekly routine, because I don't, you know, I'm a swing trader, so I don't need to sit here on a daily basis. My weekly routine starts on a Saturday. This is after the market close on Friday. This is where I open my trade station. So here, the difference between the big screens and the small screen, it's still 43-inch, but the 43-inch here is perfect for recording. I'll get there in a second. But here on that system, I have my trade station. And as you guys know, this is on trade station where I run all my proprietary tools, my indicators, my forecasting tools. And this is where my process starts, basically my weekly process on Saturday, sometimes even only on Sunday. This is where I open TradeStation and I do my analysis. I go through all the markets, basically all futures markets, right? All that I trade, equity indices, stocks, precious metals, treasuries, energies, agricultural market, and FX majors. I do this all on the weekend. For me personally, it would take maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe less than an hour to be frank, maybe 30 minutes to do my whole analysis. But what I do obviously for our community, for the campus, I do my Funded Trader Weekly Outlook. And usually I have so much to talk about, so I split it into 2 or even 3 sessions, 2 or 3 one-hour sessions, and I go through every single market in detail. And this I do on the weekend, and when we go through these Funded Trader Weekly Outlooks, or when I record these sessions, this is basically where I give our students my trade ideas for the upcoming week that you then see again on that big screen over there for myself. Now, how does my day look like now? So usually what I do is in the morning, I wake up at 7 a.m. or actually I wake up earlier, but I get here with a cup of coffee at 7 a.m. and switch on my system, my trade station. I check my fundamental tools. That's all I have to do, by the way, to see if something significantly changed or not. I check my setups and it takes me literally 15 minutes. That's it. And then in the evening, I like to check it again once the US, so evening for me means the US stock market opens between 5:30 and 6:30 depending on daylight saving. And then I switch on my system again and check the charts because this is where I expect the highest volatility in the market. And then another 15 minutes, so maximum 30 minutes a day that I need for myself on a daily basis. And then again, we get the weekends where I continue doing my Funded Trader Weekly Outlooks for the community, and that's it. So ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to our Funded Trader Weekly Outlook. Today we cover the equity indices and the stock market. So what do we expect for next week? So I believe if we continue to go higher, then next week we will get our March shorting opportunity. So this is how it looks like when I do my webinars as well. I like this angle here because you might know this from all my podcasts, virtual podcasts that I do. This angle, it has the best view to my screens and my desktop PC. I use here my microphone, my Shure microphone, digital Shure microphone, and my Insta360 webcam here to film everything. So now you might ask yourself if this office equipment is worth all the money. To me, I clearly say yes. When I bought this PC 4 years ago and spent so much money on it, I expected it to last at least 10 years. And until now, I never had any problem, not one single day. For some of you, it might still sound expensive, and it is expensive indeed, but I like to invest in my business, in my profession, so for me, it's worth every penny. All right, thank you guys so much for watching my studio tour. And remember, as soon as our new office is ready, I will take you with me to show you my new office as well in an office tour. Thank you so much for watching. Happy swing trading.